exactly what you Geminis need to do. And the first thing on the list is active listening. Now, why does active listening help Gemini make more money? Because Gemini sometimes can listen, but sometimes they're thinking about the next thing to say. So actually, Gemini's focusing on what the person is saying completely and utterly, and then responding after they've processed what the person said, actually makes them a better salesman. And making money is really about how you sell. So it's focusing on what customers are saying, it focuses on what clients are saying, it's focusing on, whoever they're trying to sell to. They really need to 100% actively listen to what people are trying to say and not respond until they've processed the thoughts. And that will help them generate more money, because they would make more sales. It's really that simple if they're in sales. And even if they're not in sales, it helps them practice being better in the work environment. Like, people will appreciate them more, because Geminis are natural problem solvers. And when they actively listen, they actively then solve the problem for people. So that's one of them. And then the second one is find the most logical answer. This is, Gemini just need to focus on logic. Sometimes Geminis can maybe think their own thoughts, but they need to focus on the only thing that's the most logical thing, the most logical answer. And that is, in any decision that they make, they must make it based purely on logic. They can't enter any decision that's based on emotion. And when it comes to generating money, that could be investing money, that could be talking to the right people, that could be putting themselves in the right environment, that can be purchasing the right product, making the right price. Everything is based on logic, because Geminis naturally have high levels of intellect and quick-minded. So they need to just focus on that, and then they'll actually get the right results. And, money is a results business, let's be honest. So the results are based on the logical answers that they need to find. Number 3 is sharing knowledge. When Gemini share what they know, number 1, they make better connections. They make more connections the more they share their ideas. The more they communicate, the better it is for them. And the more they show their mind, which is basically their ideas and basically what they've thought or what they come up with or things that they've discovered. Sharing their knowledge is crucial for them to actually, even when they're talking to clients, even when they're talking to customers, even when they're in the work environment, even when they're talking to their boss, even when they're talking to their colleagues, sharing their knowledge actually shows people their intelligence. And Geminis do have a natural level of intelligence. So they need to share that with others to actually impress others. So therefore they can either go up in the business, go up in their career, go up in their own company, because of the knowledge that they have. And they need to display it, share it, give it out to everyone. Number 4. Intelligent home life. They need to have a home environment where intelligence is being operated or displayed most of the time, or at least minimum half the time. They can't be in an environment where there is a lack of intellectual stimulation going on, a lack of communication that is of a low intellectual level. They need high intellectual conversations, or they need to be focused or listening, or listening to something that actually they can learn, that can provide them with knowledge and everything like that. So their home environment has to keep feeding them. They want to go out in the workplace and in the marketplace and do what they need to do, but they also need to come home and learn more. And that's why they share their knowledge. They're actually very quick learners, Gemini. So they need to do that in the home. The home is the best place for them to learn what they really truly want to learn. So they have to have it has to be going on in the house. If it's not going on in the house, it can hold them back in terms of producing things outside, because everything starts on the inside. Number 5 is engaging communication. And they need to be engaging their communication. I don't know what that word is, but they need to be engaging that communication to people. They need to be engaging. They have to learn to actually, if they, because they do have intellectual and they can talk, but they need to learn the high levels of engagement so people can maintain and listen to them and want to listen to them and want to take in what they have to say and want to be around them and stuff. You know, communication is one of the highest forms of achieving money. Like it's I think it's number 2 or 3 on the list in terms of how you achieve money. I think there's knowledge based and there's creative based and then there's communication based. And I think when you have high levels of communication, you can really create very high levels of wealth. And if you're an engaging communicator, if you're someone who knows how to communicate, then people are going to listen to you, people are going to follow you, people are going to want to understand you, and people are going to want to know more about what you know and stuff like that because it's engaging. So that's what Gemini truly have to learn. Also, they have to share, they have to, I would say, bouncing their thoughts. Geminis are the type of people that sometimes when they have a problem, they need to share that problem. Sometimes when they have thoughts and they're not 100% sure about something, they need to share it. Yeah, they actually, just by sharing the problem or their thought or their idea, and even if the person doesn't give them the answer they want, they still somehow figure out the answer that they need through that conversation that they've had. This is how they operate. So sharing that idea is very important for Gemini. And obviously it's just not sharing it with anyone and everyone, but sometimes you never know. Everybody can give you a little slice of information that even if they're nobodies, even if they're somebody who you don't respect or don't think knows anything, you never know what they know that could help you. Just we go bang, the light bulb moment and stuff like that. And Geminis generally, when they bounce their ideas or their thoughts to people, that's what happens. They get light bulb moments continuously. Finding people's motives. I think this is, Geminis are normally quite curious people generally, but they need to be more curious about people. They need to learn and understand the motives of people, especially people that they respect and they really admire. They need to be investigators in that way, and they need to utilize that level of curiosity that they have with people that they believe is doing things. And sometimes it's not even people that believe is doing things. They need to be curious if they're even selling something. They need to be curious about why someone wants to buy something, why somebody is in their shop, why is somebody come to this location, why is somebody on this website, why is somebody bought this package, etc., etc. They need to gather more information. Gemini is all about information, and the more information they have, the more they can actually do better in all aspects, including the financial aspect. Even in the work environment, if they understand their manager's motives or their colleagues' motives, their customers' motives, whoever, they just need to understand everyone's motives, so then they can produce the best results possible because they are information holders, and information is one of the keys to success. Study long term. Geminis can study short term very, very well. They're very good at understanding something very quickly, learning quickly about it, getting quick information. But the real key to Gemini making more money and increasing their wealth is studying something on a long-term basis. And it doesn't have to be just an education purpose or being in the university, college, whatever. It doesn't have to just be that. It can also be just sitting down, watching like videos about a certain subject that you find important and watching it until you can't watch it anymore. And then even when you can't watch it anymore, continue watching it. Because Gemini sometimes like to change. So forget that change and just set like a 3-month, 6-month, 1 year, 2-year goal to understand something long term. And then when you understand if that thing is aligned with the career that can generate you money, it's going to be even better. And then you're going to become even better because you're a quick learner, you're a quick study, and doing it on a long-term basis, you're going to really have a level of expertise. And then when you practice it on the field, when you utilize active listening and sharing knowledge, engage in communication with the long-term study that you've decided to take, then you'll see the money come in your pocket. That's when you're going to see it, to be honest with you. And number 9 is a career with movement. And the reason why Gemini need a career of movement, because they produce their best when they're moving. They produce their best when they're changing. They produce their best when they're not doing static work or sitting work. They can sit for a period of time, but they need to be up and active. They need to be moving. That could be any sort of career. That can be any sort of thing that they need to do, or they need to bring a lot of movement. If their career is static, then they need to bring a lot of movement within what they're doing. They have to take breaks, and that break means going somewhere, But the best thing is a career of movement. Even like someone like me, standing up and talking, standing up and moving. Just the fact that my arms are moving and my body's moving is so much better for me and for any Gemini, that they just feel like they're performing better. They feel like they're doing better, and they feel more alive. When they're sitting, their brain is absorbing, but Geminis can do the moving and the mental aspect of things at the same time. They love that. They really appreciate that. So any career with movement is actually going to make Gemini produce their best work. So that's what Geminis really need to do. And this list of 9 points can truly make Gemini generate wealth.